In 1932, the Australian military declared war on 20,000 birds. Equipped with heavy machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, they expected a quick, decisive slaughter within days. Instead, the birds used guerrilla tactics to completely humiliate the Crown. This is the bizarre, true story of the Great Emu War. Following World War I, thousands of returning Australian soldiers were granted marginal farmland in the harsh western outback. Then, the Great Depression hit, causing crop prices to collapse and pushing veteran families to the brink of financial ruin. In 1932, an unexpected crisis struck. 20,000 wild emus began their annual breeding migration directly toward the farms. The giant birds found the cleared land and irrigation channels irresistible, devouring entire crops and destroying protective boundary fences. With crops destroyed and rabbits pouring through the broken fences, desperate veteran farmers requested military assistance from the Australian government. Defense Minister Sir George Pearce saw an easy political victory and agreed to deploy the Royal Australian Artillery. Major G.P.W. Meredith led the military unit, equipped with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. The military assumed the campaign would be over in days, viewing the flightless birds as simple target practice. On November 2nd, the soldiers made initial contact near Campion, spotting a pack of 50 birds in the distance. Local farmers attempted to herd the birds into machine gun range, but the flock easily outpaced the men. When gunners opened fire from long distance, the emus instantly split into small, fast-moving groups, evading the bullets. Only a handful of birds fell. The rest vanished into the vast scrubland at speeds over 30 miles per hour. 2 days later, the Major set up a deadly ambush near a local water dam, waiting for over 1,000 emus. The massive flock approached the water in tight formation, walking directly into point-blank range of the hidden guns. The gunners held their fire until the birds were close, prepared to unleash a devastating hail of continuous automatic fire. The machine gun opened fire, dropping a dozen birds before the mechanism violently jammed and ceased firing. Before the jam could be cleared, the entire flock scattered in opposite directions, escaping with minimal casualties. The soldiers quickly realized the emus were demonstrating extraordinary natural guerrilla tactics against mechanized warfare. Each pack maintained a designated sentry that monitored the horizon and warned the flock of human approach. Furthermore, their thick, layered feathers and dense musculature acted like natural armor against non-critical bullet strikes. Birds sustained direct hits and continued running at full speed without collapsing, bewildering the artillery gunners. Desperate for results, the Major devised a mobile strike tactic, mounting a Lewis gun onto an army truck. The motorized plan was an immediate disaster. The outback terrain was far too uneven for high-speed chases. The gunner was thrown violently around the truck bed, completely unable to aim or fire a single accurate shot. The pursuit ended abruptly when the truck lost control and crashed directly into a farmer's wooden fence. The emus sprinted away effortlessly, leaving the mechanized unit stranded and completely humiliated in the dust. Major Meredith filed official reports comparing the birds to elite military forces, citing their tactical invulnerability. He famously remarked that if a military division possessed the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it could face any army. News of the farcical military campaign quickly reached the national parliament, sparking fierce debates and intense public ridicule. Opposition leaders mockingly questioned whether the government intended to award military campaign medals to the emus. International press outlets picked up the story, plastering headlines across global newspapers, mocking Australia's war on wildlife. On November 8th, under immense political pressure, the government ordered an immediate withdrawal of all troops. The initial campaign had expended thousands of rounds of ammunition to confirm only a trivial number of kills. However, as soon as the soldiers left, the emus resumed their relentless destruction of the wheat fields. Desperate farmers petitioned the government again, forcing the defense minister to redeploy the artillery unit. The second phase of the operation began on November 13th, utilizing improved ambush and defensive tactics. While the military achieved slightly higher casualty numbers, the vast majority of the flock remained completely unaffected. By December, the military officially abandoned the campaign for good, having fired nearly 10,000 bullets. The government realized that mechanized warfare was entirely useless against a dispersed, highly mobile natural population. Instead of machine guns, the solution came through a simple bounty system and reinforced exclusion fencing. Local farmers took control of their lands, using traditional fencing methods to successfully protect their wheat crops. The Great EMU War remains one of the most bizarre and humorous military blunders in human history. It stands as a testament to the sheer resilience and adaptability of nature when challenged by technology. A modern army with automatic weapons was completely outmaneuvered by flightless birds acting on pure instinct. The flightless giants claimed a decisive victory, continuing their ancient migration patterns across the continent. We know what happens when humanity arrogantly challenges the wildlife of the land. But what happens when human arrogance often drives us into absurd, impossible battles against the natural world? Yet nowhere has human ambition been more bizarre than our obsession with raising the Titanic. Lying 2.5 miles beneath the surface, engineers proposed utterly wild recovery schemes, from filling the shattered hull with millions of ping-pong balls to freezing it inside a giant iceberg. Inventors spent millions concocting surreal salvage operations to lift 46,000 tons of steel. Click the documentary on your screen right now to explore the most insane Titanic recovery plans.